I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Matt, if we could have a roll call, please.
Councillor Robinson,
Here.
Batolo,
Here.
Hanson,
Here.
Hickerson,
Here.
Zadi, Pedri,
Here.
Demus,
Here.
Allen,
Here.
Mayor Mickelson.
Here. Council, if we could have a nomination for president since Mr. Zadi is unavailable this evening.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to nominate Councilman Batolo for president for the night.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Is there a second? Here. Thank you, Councilor Robinson. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. That brings us to our consent agenda. We have the approval of the minutes from our city council meeting of June 20th, 2023. We have Lisa Coleman appointed to her first term of the Community Fine Arts Center Board, Tani Alton for a second term on the Rock Springs Box Art Committee, Will Wheatley for a second term on the Rock Springs Building Code Appeals Board, and Roger Hartman for a second term on the Rock Springs Building Code Appeals Board. We have the Joint Powers Telecom Board meeting minutes of May 18th, 2023, and the Joint Powers Combined Communication Board meeting minutes of May 22nd, 2023. Do we have a motion, Council?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor Batolo. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Which brings us to a special feature this evening, a commendation for the Fire Department Lifesaver Awards. Chief, if you would please.
Thank you, Mayor Mickelson. If I could, I'd like to turn the time over to Captain Seth Lancaster and firefighter Nathan Brazington. And if the following people are in the audience, if they don't mind coming down here, find my paper. Clint McJunkin, Tamara Washington, Michelle DeTulio, Krista Padilla, and Josie Ibarra.
Thank you. All right. So I'm Seth Lancaster. This is Nathan Brazington. We were on the first due engine for the event that happened to Mr. Philip Putnam on April 24th. And these are the lifesavers that were quickly dispatched in the rowing class to help save him. So I'm just going to read a quick synopsis of what happened that day, and then we'll present the awards. So on April 24th, while attending a rowing class at the Rock Springs Civic Center, Philip Putnam experienced a cardiac event, causing him to slouch over and become unresponsive. Civic Center staff responded accordingly, activating the chain of survival. Tamara Washington called for help and requested Michelle DeTulio to call 911. Clint McJunkin cleared the pool and responded to the rowing room, where he found two bystanders, Krista Padilla and Josie Ibarra, performing CPR on Philip. Clint took over rescue breaths from the bystanders, and Tamara attached the AED pads. The AED advised a shock. Once shock was delivered, rescuers continued care until fire and EMS arrived to take over. Engine 2, which Nathan and I were on, and one other firefighter, which is Kevin Hafner, was with us. We took over care, and actually when we arrived, Mr. Putnam was starting to wake up, which is unusual for CPR events. So he was talking to us, which is a good sign. So we just continued care, got vitals, and then quickly got him to the hospital for definitive care. And we just want to recognize and thank everybody for their quick reactions, the Civic Center staff, bystanders, people that were in the class. And it helped Mr. Putnam walk out of the hospital 8 days later. So that's really awesome. All right, so we have Clint McJunkin. Tamara Washington, Michelle DeTulio, and the last two were Krista Padilla and Josie Ibarra. Thank you very much.
Council, would anyone like to address?
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
To all of you, just it's kind of a side note. I was in law enforcement for almost 30 years, and I can tell you the number of times that CPR is actually successful is very, I mean, it's a rare occurrence. The speed in which you guys were just on the ball and your abilities, I mean, it saved a life, and it's a rarity. It really is. So congratulations and great job.
We'd like to stay all night, but we're not.
Well, thank you all very much. Okay, that brings us to petitions and public comment. If you'd like to address the council, please identify your name and who, if anyone, you represent.
I don't know if anyone heard you. Oh, he did.
Rick's coming in.
Oh, okay.
Mayor, members of the council, Clark Stith, House District 48. Not here for any particular reason other than to say hello and also to probably tell you things that you already know. It looks like you've got a really full agenda with a lot of your sixth penny projects coming up. It's really exciting to see those getting underway. And you maybe have more projects than you want to have. You've got a lot going on here. But just to let you know, there's an extra pot of money there for you if you're interested. Application period opened up June 20th. The application period closes August 4th with the Office of State Lands and Investments for a $15 million pot of ARPA money for non-water, non-sewer projects. So just wanted to let you know, if you were interested in that, the OSLI website sort of has the application form and all the hoops to jump through for that. But if there's some project that you could say, hey, as a result, somehow you have to say it's a result of the COVID pandemic, we had this adverse economic impact on something, whether it's the downtown or wherever, and we'd like to use X dollars to, do some project. Just want to make you aware, you're probably already aware of that, but that money's there, and it's only $15 million all statewide, so it will go pretty quick. But because it's a little hard to shoehorn into those non-water, non-sewer projects, there may not be as many applicants as you might expect. So that's it from my point of view. And I want to thank the mayor for coming to. There was I think Senator Jones and Representative J.T. Larson had put together this community growth management group. I think it's an interesting issue, and I guess we're going to have another meeting here in a week or two. But I think that's because I think you're going to be facing a lot of issues with in the next 3-4 years of a lot of temporary workers coming in for big construction projects, and then of course permanent growth as well. So but anyway, just here to say we want to be a resource here for you and say hello. So
Thank you. Council, do you have any questions or comments for Representative Stith?
Just thank you for your efforts.
sure. Thank you very much.
Very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Rick Malonis. I'm here for myself. Here to talk about the seating situation we got down at Nell's Coffee, 204 Elk Street. Talking with my legal team, we decided the only way we're going to get this figured out is with the lawsuit. This is the first step of a lawsuit. It's the notice of claim. This will be the verbal part. The written part will be sent to the city attorney tomorrow. I want to start out with a little story. About 15 years ago, the city was broke. They couldn't pay a bill. I couldn't understand it. We were rocking. This place was cranking. Schlumberger full up. Red iron all over the place. Blue iron, everything full. I couldn't understand why we were broke. Shirley Cicchetti, running for mayor, she goes, why don't you just go look at the POs, see where all the money's going? I said, oh, you can do that? So I went and looked at the POs. Boy, was I amazed. Here's what we had. We had the mayor's father-in-law in the basement writing POs to the mayor's engineering company. 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. Flood survey work, flood survey work, flood survey work. The mayor's father-in-law writing these POs directly to the mayor's engineering company. There was a stack that big. You know, I mentioned nepotism. You know, that's probably a level above nepotism. But the most amazing part of what I found was every PO needs signed by a department head. Guess what? Mr. Father-in-law had a stamp with the department head signature. JFC, 50,000. Flood survey work. Stamp, signature. Stamp, signature. No wonder we were broke. And all that was in the name of economic development and downtown revitalization. Okay, I don't know how much money that was, but it's billions of dollars we're going to spend on economic development, trying to get the downtown out of the floodplain. So anyhow, have you guys ever filled out one of those questionnaires where they ask you, have you ever been named in a lawsuit? Well, you're about to get your chance. Because you know what? Either you're with us or you're against us. You can't just sit there and do nothing and say nothing and act like you don't have any responsibility or liability. Oh, no. You guys are being complicit. You're being complicit with the city. Okay? You were hired by the people for the people. You weren't elected by the people for the city. You need to remember that. So everybody's name will be on this lawsuit. Exhibit A. There was a coffee shop with all kinds of tables and chairs at 204 Elk when they bought the place. They bought all their inventory and their equipment. There was chairs all over the place. That's like when the Park Hotel changed ownership, the city goes in there and pulls all the tables and chairs and the benches and the stools and says, you can only stand here until you get a sprinkler system in. I don't know how that sprinkler system even got kicked into the thing. They bought their equipment. They changed ownership. That's all that happened. Just stand and drink beer. Oh my God, right. It's the same thing as if when the Park Hotel changed ownership. Exhibit B. The fire code listed on the city's website specifically states the code is for new construction. Excuse me, this building is 90 years old. There is no new construction going on down there. The only new thing is those $500 fireproof curtains you made them buy. And still you wouldn't let them have table and chairs. $500. You know how many cups of coffee you have to sell to get $500 profit? Probably 500. Jeez. So is this how the other buildings and fire codes are going to go? We're just going to shutter all these big buildings in downtown Rock Springs? There's nobody going to spend money to fire sprinkle those things. Exhibit C, the city is interfering with my constitutional right to earn a living. This is not some new construction that we're looking for some special favors for, or waive restrictions, or some other kind of relief. No, I rescued this building. It was in terrible shape. Guido owned that place. Boarded windows, ugly, messy, dirty, rusty roof, dirty, nasty. We fixed it up and turned it into a nice little profit center for the city. No loans, no grants, just heart and hard work. And how do you repay us? Throw some crazy codes at us and run us out of business. The Constitution says you can't do that. Why would you want to do that? It's exactly what you're doing, running us out of business. And ever since the city got involved with this, the business has gone downhill. They're barely hanging on down there at that location. The city needs to knock this stuff off immediately, get out of our way and let us make some money. before there's some real damage and big legal fees. Exhibit D. The city is going to spend $1 billion on this downtown floodplain flood survey work for economic development and trying to revitalize the downtown. I've been to meetings, I've listened to the consultants, and we've been following their playbook. That's right. We got a coffee shop, we got cold drinks, we got ice cream, we got Wi-Fi, we got info. We're trying to capitalize on this tourism. I've turned 2 abandoned buildings in downtown into downtown Rock Springs into profit centers. And now this. What playbook are you guys using? Ain't that playbook. So in closing, believe it or not, I hate fighting. I really do. But a man has to do what a man has to do. And let me tell you, I'm ready to go the distance on this. And to be honest, I'm kind of enjoying it sometimes. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting like I'm the third monkey getting on that ark, and it's starting to rain. I'm fighting for Nell's Coffee. People love Nell's Coffee. They need this building, unencumbered, in order to keep growing. I'm fighting for Danielle Valdez and her family, the owner. She has big dreams, coffee, ice cream. She wants a bakery. You got baked goods. She wants to franchise. But you guys have beat her down, running around her family so much, she's tired. She's out of gas. She's out of enthusiasm. I hate bullies. I always have. And you know what? That's exactly what this feels like. You guys are just bullying Nels. I'm fighting for the citizens of Rock Springs. Right now, Nell collects thousands of dollars in sales tax every month. They employ almost 20 plus people, plus all the door dashers that show up to that place. And they want to increase those numbers. Nell's is good for the community. And that's what I'm fighting for. What are you guys fighting for? Because you know what? The only place that's going to win is that sprinkler company in Salt Lake City. Plus anybody else that may get a kickback off the deal. But that's the only winner on your path. So I'm going to leave you with this. Just ask yourself, by doing what you decide to do or don't do, will it bring us more economic development and help revitalize the downtown? Or will you ever do or don't do to put us on the path to lost revenue? Or will what you do or don't do put us on the path to lost revenue and boarded up buildings? Because that's a choice, this way or this way. This is the end of my notice. Like I said, the city will receive the written one, and I look forward to your response. Who are you fighting for?
Thank you, Mr. Malonis. Since this is a legal issue, there won't be any comment from myself or the council other than
Not a legal issue yet.
to say that we welcome the opportunity to resolve this issue in court. Would anyone else like to address the city council or myself? Going once, going twice. Okay, public comment is closed, which brings us to bills and claims. The first are the bills and claims for June 30th of 2023. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for June 30th, 2023.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay, motion carries with Councilor Pedri abstaining. That brings us to bills and claims for July 5th of 2023.
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus.
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for July 5th, 2023.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion carries with Councilor Pedri abstaining. And that brings us to the salaries for June 22nd of 2023. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus.
I make a motion to approve the salaries for June 22nd, 2023.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion carries with Councilor Pedri abstaining. And that takes us to new business. The first item of new business is a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to procure design services and bid the WRF odor control project. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve this request.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item of new business is a request from the Engineering Operation and Public Services Department for permission to procure design services and bid the Northeast Rock Springs Detention Project. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Batola?
move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item of new business is a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to procure design services and bid the Kilpecker Creek Detention Project. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. Our next item of new business is a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to begin the request for qualifications process for the Wataha Irrigation System Replacement Specific Purpose Tax Project. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve this request.
Thank you, Councilor Botello. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Hearing none, the motion carries unanimously. Our next item of new business is a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to begin the request for qualifications process for the Ice Arena Chiller System Specific Purpose Tax Project.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, and thank you, Councilor Hanson and Robinson with the second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item of new business is a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to bid various equipment for the Wataha Recreation Area and Parks Division operations. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
second.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item is a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to fill a vacant Assistant City Planner position in the Planning Division. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. That brings us to a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to fill a vacant electrical inspector position in the Building Inspection Division. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hanson?
I move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Botello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item of new business is a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to fill a vacant Streets Maintenance Worker 1 position in the Streets Division. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Pedri. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Bringing us to a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to fill a vacant Collection Systems Worker 1 position at the Water Reclamation Facility. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Botello?
move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Our next item of business is a request from the Police Department for permission to fill a vacant Animal Control Supervisor position. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Demas?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Whoa, that was stereo. I'm gonna go with Counselor Botello. Or Hanson. I'm gonna have to go get hearing aids. Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Down to the final three. Request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to fill 2 vacant Parks Maintenance Worker 1 positions. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
move to approve this request.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Botello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to fill a vacant Recreation Supervisor position at the Family Recreation Center. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Demas?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Robinson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. And our final item of new business this evening is a request from Johnny Mac's Good Time Tavern for permission to extend their serving area for various events every Friday and Saturday evening, beginning on July 7th, 2023, and ending on September 16th, 2023. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Petrie?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Councilor Robinson?
Sure.
And do we have any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I was looking at the map for this. Where's everybody gonna park? Yeah. It just seems like it's gonna be a mess there on that road and the.
Yes, Your Honor and Counselor, looking at the map, I would guess that the parking is planned for that service road that goes parallel to the building. Guessing.
The one in front.
Probably not in front. What is that? Winston Drive? Winston?
Oh, goes.
That goes up towards Churchill.
Right.
Be my guess. But.
And possibly the vacant lot behind there.
That was my guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dirt.
That dirt lot? Yeah, correct.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Just curious.
Okay. Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. And before we move to resolutions, I just want everyone to know that reading through all of the new business items gives me a new appreciation for Mr. McBurnett's ability to read these resolutions and not get completely tongue-tied. So that brings us to our first resolution, 2023-87. Matt, if you will, please.
A resolution accepting and approving a proposal with Graves Consulting LLC and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said proposal on behalf of the city of Rock Springs.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Higgerson?
move to approve Resolution 2023-87.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Matt, if you will, please.
Councilor Botello?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Hickerson?
Yes.
Petrie?
Yes.
Demas?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson?
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Bringing us to Resolution 2023-88.
A resolution accepting and approving an updated pay grade for the position of Assistant City Planner to pay grade 51 for the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve Resolution 2023-88.
Thank you, Councilor Botello. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Matt, if you will, please.
Councilor Hanson?
Yes.
Hickerson?
Yes.
Petrie?
Yes.
Demas?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Botello?
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson?
Yes. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Our next is Resolution 2023-89.
A resolution accepting and approving a revised job description for the position of Animal Control Supervisor at pay grade 47 for the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson?
I move to approve Resolution 2023-89.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Matt, if you will, please.
Councilor Hickerson,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. The resolution carries unanimously, bringing us to 2023-90.
A resolution accepting and approving a Ray Lovato Recycling Center service agreement and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-90.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Pedri. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Matt, if you'll take us through.
Councilor Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Patolo,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. The resolution carries unanimously. Our next is Resolution 2023-91.
A resolution accepting and approving a Sweetwater County Transit Authority service agreement and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Robinson?
move to approve Resolution 2023-91.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Batolo. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, if you will.
Councilor Demus,
Abstain.
Allen,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Patolo,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. So Resolution 2023-91 carries with Councilor Demas abstaining. And that takes us to Resolution 2023-92.
A resolution accepting and approving a proposal from McGee, Hearn and Pies LLP, certified public accountants and consultants, to audit the financial records of the City of Rock Springs for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute and confirm said proposal on behalf of the city.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-92.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Batolo. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Matt, if you will.
Councilor Allen,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, the resolution carries unanimously, which brings us to our final one of the evening, 2023-93.
A resolution accepting and approving a Sweetwater County District Board of Health Service Agreement and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-93.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Pedri. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Matt, if you'll take us through, please.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. That concludes our resolutions for the evening and brings us to our ordinances. We have one 2023-05 that is on its third reading.
An ordinance creating Article 11-12 of the ordinances of the City of Rock Springs entitled Visionary Communications LLC within Chapter 11 Franchises and Right-of-Ways.
Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor.
Go ahead, Larry.
I move to approve ordinance 2023-05.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Counselor Demas, thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in, oh, good Lord, I almost did it. I was so close. I'm never going to get that right. Matt, if you would, please.
Counselor Batolo,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, with that, business concluded, meeting adjourned.
We still did good.